Here's what's making news at midday. Florida residents continue to pick up the pieces left by Hurricane Ian as thousands more are still without power. Also, the Supreme Court hears arguments on a voting rights case over district maps and race. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday. Mark Kane is on assignment today. We begin this noon with the Wisconsin Assembly and the Senate gaveling in and out of another special session called by Governor Tony Evers in a matter of seconds. This time the session was over creating a pathway for Wisconsinites to repeal the state's 1849 abortion law. The law bans abortion for nearly all instances in the state, even cases of rape and incest, unless the mother's life is in danger. Right now, there is no process by which Wisconsinites can vote to reject existing state statutes like the 1849 abortion law. A Mukwonago man is okay, miraculously, after being shot multiple times this weekend while hunting in Prairie du Chien. The 49-year-old man and his wife were duck hunting on Sunday when the man's gun discharged and hit him in the leg and the arm. Firefighters were able to reach the man and take him to a boat landing where he was taken to the hospital. The DNR is investigating the incident but says it does not appear to be suspicious. Let's get a check on the weather now. Beautiful afternoon today. Meteorologist Chris Reese. Some big changes on the way, right, Chris? We have to seize the day.
Yeah, seize the day, seize these next couple of days, Susan. We still have another day of 70s beyond today left in that forecast. You see more of those trees starting to turn color out there. We're at 66. When we gave you the first warn forecast earlier this morning, we said we'd be at 66 at noon. That's exactly where temperatures are, but the air is dry. 71 in Lone Rock right now, 68 for our friend Janesville. Camp Douglas has made it to 70. Also, we'll continue to warm things up. Look for highs topping out about 8 degrees warmer at 72 for your high this afternoon. That is what a southwest wind can do. It really starts to warm you up. I'm also still watching chances for some showers. It's this little feature towards the west that's going to help usher in our winds of change, if you will, later on this week. But for now, we do have more of that sunshine. I'm showing you some October statistics here. Our normal high is in the mid-60s. By the end of the month, our normal high is into the mid-50s. October also averages about half an inch of snow. Coming up in a bit, we'll talk about when you typically see your first snowflakes and who in Wisconsin could see them this week.
Winds of change. I like that. Change is hard, though, sometimes.
I know.
All right, Chris, thank you. Let's turn now to the desperate situation in Florida nearly a week after Hurricane Ian. CBS News has now confirmed more than 100 people were killed in the storm. More than 400,000 in Florida are still without power, and one community, Sanibel Island, was totally cut off from the mainland when the storm destroyed part of a causeway. Local officials are sweeping Sanibel Island looking for survivors, and some evacuees are returning to see the damage firsthand.
It's horrible. I mean, you walk down these streets, you can't even recognize what streets they are. It's a tragedy, and that's all you can pretty much say.
Florida officials have defended the timing of evacuation orders in Lee County, which came less than 24 hours before the hurricane came ashore. They've said those orders went into effect as soon as the storm's track put the county in danger. President Biden is set to visit the area tomorrow. In the first big case before the U.S. Supreme Court this session, the justices heard arguments this morning on a contentious case involving voting rights in Alabama. At issue is a Republican-drawn congressional map which consolidates the majority of black voters into one district. The justices are hearing arguments about whether Alabama's redistricting plan for its 7 House seats violates part of the Voting Rights Act.
Alabama's map cracks that community and allows white block voting to deny black voters the opportunity to elect representation responsive to their needs.
The only way to add a second minority district to Alabama's plan is to make race the non-negotiable criterion.
Alabama is allowed to proceed with its new map for next month's elections, but the High Court's ruling in this case could affect future elections. This is also the first case involving race issues to come before the High Court with two black-seated justices. Loretta Lynn, a Kentucky coal miner's daughter who became a pillar of country music, has passed away. In a statement, Lynn's family said she died peacefully in her home in Hurricane Mills, Tennessee. Lynn's biggest hits came in the 60s and 70s, including Coal Miner's Daughter, You Ain't Woman Enough, The Pill, and Don't Come Home a-Drinkin' with Lovin' on Your Mind. Loretta Lynn was 90 years old. Packers legend Brett Favre will bring in a former Trump attorney to represent him in the $70 million welfare fraud scheme in Mississippi. Eric Hirschman served on Trump's first impeachment defense team in 2019. He will now defend Favre, who is accused of receiving millions of dollars from Mississippi welfare funds that he eventually donated to southern Mississippi for a new volleyball facility. Hirschman told CNN he is convinced Favre has done nothing wrong. Stay with us. There's more to come today on News 3 at noon. Scams are becoming more problematic with a popular pay service. And if you ask the IRS for an extension to file your taxes, the deadline is coming up fast. We'll have details next in the Money Watch report.
Welcome to Dwellings.
Shop our fabulous showroom, Hard Rock Road, Fitchburg.
Ron Johnson and China. Here's how it works. While in the Senate, Johnson made $57 million from a family business whose growth was directly linked to China. He invested in Chinese factories, and Johnson's family business got $50 million in loans from the Bank of China. Johnson pushed for shipping American jobs overseas, while he got rich. Ron Johnson's out for himself, not us. SMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
This is Connie Ryan of Ryan Funeral Homes. While things have changed, it's still necessary for families to stay connected. And when it comes to the loss of a loved one, it's important to process and grieve and honor your loved one in a way that keeps everyone safe. We're doing this through intimate services and private virtual streaming so your family can be part of the service no matter where they are. Ryan Funeral Homes are here with your safety in mind and compassionate care in your time of need.
Minwax has a challenge for you. Open a yellow can and keep on finishing. Keep on finishing this and this. Oh, and in here. That looks good. With Minwax, you can keep on finishing this and these.
What do you think?
Love it. And I love this too. And now at Menards, get 11% off all Minwax stains so you can create the custom looks you need to keep on finishing. Get it at Menards.
Happy Take and Bake Tuesday!
Every Tuesday at Papa Murphy's, you can get any large pizza for just $10.99, which makes Tuesday the best day to bring home all your favorites.
We might have too many favorites.
Order now at papamurphys.com.
I worked on the force for 30 years. I've seen plenty of politicians, but Mandela, he's the real deal. Mandela doesn't want to defund the police. He's very supportive of law enforcement, and I know his objective is to make every community in the state of Wisconsin better. I trust him to get the resources that we need to keep people safe and to reduce crime in the first place. As a retired cop, I want someone like Mandela. Mandela is the right guy for the job.
I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
Welcome to Dwellings.
Shop our fabulous showroom, Hard Rock Road, Fitchburg.
Fraud and scams are becoming a growing problem on the popular peer-to-peer payment service Zelle. That's according to a new report from the office of Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren. The report points to nearly 200,000 cases from 4 banks where customers claim they were tricked into making a payment. Those cases amount to the loss of around $213 million. The report also found that the large banks that partly own Zelle have been reluctant to compensate customers who've been victimized. Early Warning Services, the company that operates Zelle, has not commented. If you are one of approximately 19 million people who asked the IRS for another 6 months to file their taxes in 2022, the deadline is fast approaching. This year, the tax extension deadline for filing your 2021 return is October 17th. Experts recommend filing as soon as possible in order to avoid last-minute pitfalls. They also recommend sending your return electronically, since the IRS has struggled with processing paper returns during the pandemic. And check the cheese in your fridge. It may be the subject of a recall. Michigan-based Old Europe Cheese is recalling certain Brie and Camembert cheeses because they could be contaminated with listeria. The cheeses were sold under more than 24 different brand names at popular grocery stores, including Trader Joe's and ShopRite. The company issued the voluntary recall for items with Best Buy dates through December 14th. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Dan Lieberman.
Let's check stocks at the noon hour. The Dow way up 694 points. The Nasdaq is also up 306, and the S&P 500 is up 107. We'll share your ag numbers, and we'll get Chris Reese's latest forecast next at noon. And later, we'll speak with Dr. Bill Hartman from UW Health about the COVID-19 outlook this fall. We'll have that story and much more later this afternoon on Live at 4.
It's our biggest sale of the year.
And you can save big
on quality home furnishings throughout the showroom.
Join us for our anniversary sale.
And help us celebrate.
Over 25 years at Wanakee Furniture, ETC.
Everything seems to be getting more and more expensive these days. And it's the same for your heating bills. Since it will cost more to heat your home this winter, USA Insulation wants to give you control over your utility bills. Our premium injection foam keeps the cold outside and your warm, comfortable air inside, right where it belongs. Call now before winter and get a $500 early bird discount.
USA Insulation.
The radical left hate America and riot in our streets. They indoctrinate our children to hate America, stoking fear and envy with their lies and deceptions. Their radical woke agenda and divisive politics are tearing our country apart. Here's Mandela Barnes.
Because the founding of this nation, awful.
Mandela Barnes is a radical leftist. He supports their woke agenda that's causing you and your family so much pain.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
It's our biggest sale of the year.
And you can save big
on quality home furnishings throughout the showroom.
Join us for our anniversary sale.
And help us celebrate.
Over 25 years at Wanakee Furniture, ETC.
On the Jennifer Hudson Show, LL Cool J is in the house.
I can tell what year it is by my jewelry.
Can?
I know the chains got a little bigger and all that.
And Tony Award winner Michael R. Jackson is here.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3.
Your doctor says you need a certain test or procedure, but your insurance claim is denied.
Tomorrow, we'll walk you through some steps that could help you reverse that decision.
And we continue to gear you up for a big-time freeze potential later this week. That's from 4:30 to 7.
The Farm Report is sponsored by Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Welcome back, everyone. Pam Yankee from the Midwest Farm Report is at the World Dairy Expo this week. Here are the farm numbers for Tuesday. A new climate report finds changing the way cities deal with waste could slash global emissions of planet-heating methane. Tina Kraus reports from London.
Mountains of waste are piling up around the world, and as food rots, methane leaks from landfills. Experts say garbage accounts for 20% of global methane emissions, but if it's managed better, it could be a climate game changer.
Keeping our food waste out of landfills is like that one simple trick that can actually turn things around.
A new report from the Global Alliance for Incinerator Alternatives looked at waste strategies in 8 cities around the world, including Detroit. They found minor tweaks like waste separation, recycling, and composting could cut harmful emissions by more than 80%, equivalent to taking all vehicles in the U.S. off the road for a year.
Sometimes the humblest, most simple approaches are the ones that we overlook, and compost is definitely one of those.
Researchers say it's up to city governments to create recycling programs that work. The report maps out how zero waste campaigns can help communities adapt to the escalating climate crisis.
When compost goes back into agricultural lands, it actually improves the soil, and so it can reduce flooding, it can reduce the impact of drought.
And experts say reducing waste could go a long way on the road to bringing climate change under control. Tina Kraus, CBS News, London.
Zero waste campaigners are urging world leaders to take stronger action to better manage waste at next month's climate summit in Egypt. Well, temperatures will be cooling down this week. The big chill is on its way. Chris is back with the latest. Hi, Chris.
On the way, but it is not here just yet, so keep that in mind. But yeah, temperatures are comfortable at the meantime. 68 for Janesville right now, 69 for our friends in Boscobel. Lone Rock, you're the winner. You're the warmest spot across southern Wisconsin, hanging out at 71. Right here in the Madison Metro, most of us are into the mid-60s, but it does look like our winner is Middleton, the warmest spot at 69 right now. Dane County Regional Airport, that's the official temperature, coming in at 66. But we do have a lot of sunshine out there. A little bit of cloud cover trying to filter in a little bit higher up in the atmosphere, but plenty of sun. Winds are out of the south and southwest at about 5 miles per hour. That will help continue to warm things up. We're dry across the Badger State, but some showers do exist back towards the west. This is where our changes begin to work their way into town. So again, dry today, but changes are coming. We go all the way up towards Canada. We are getting ready to tap into this colder air as it pours right down into southern Wisconsin. Susan said it earlier off air, look at the blue blob. Yes, it is going to be right on top of us, and it settles in here really on Friday. Lots of chilly air gets in, and that's going to bring highs in the 40s and 50s. So we're talking some days where you don't make it out of the 40s. Lows near 30, and yes, a freeze will be possible, and it comes just in time. This is typically when we would see our first freeze of the year. We're actually a little bit behind on that. So some showers will be associated with that front. Watch how we get colder, and watch how northern parts of Wisconsin have the chance to see a couple of snowflakes as we move towards your Friday morning. Now, most of this would be flurries, but that chance is there. The reality is, because we are your first warned weather team, and I'm looking ahead, the stage gets reset into next week. Well, we'll see another rainmaker perhaps towards the middle of the week, followed by colder air that once again could send some snowflakes flying throughout the northern parts of the state. We're moving into this time of the year where, get this, our normal first trace of snow is October 16th. That's about 12 days away from now. Our normal first measurable snow isn't until November. We still have some time. And your normal first inch, that wouldn't happen until after Thanksgiving this year. So we have some time, but to be able to talk about the fact that snow flurries are possible in the state this time of the year, it's normal. We're closer to that time of the year at this point. That being said, let's take you hour by hour throughout the rest of today. We'll top out at 72 for your highs this afternoon, cooling down into the 40s overnight tonight, and perhaps a little bit more cloud cover for today and tomorrow. We'll top out around 70. Most of tomorrow is dry, but later tomorrow, a couple of showers begin to join the party as that cold front comes in. So you've got a solid 24 to 30 hours before you have to worry about that. It's sunshine for all of us today with that mixed cloud cover filtering in. All of us get a little bit more cloud cover tonight, but the farther west you are, the thicker your cloud cover is going to be with lows in the 40s. Then tomorrow, you see where we have a little bit more of that overcast look. Mid-60s, low 70s, that's where everyone tops out ahead of that cold front that arrives. That'll shake up temperatures even on Thursday with a high of 60. But it's 48 by Friday, and I am watching the freeze potential Friday night and into Saturday. As we go through these next couple of days, we're going to help you prepare for that possible freeze and, well, get the plants ready, do what you can do. Yep. So stay tuned over the next couple of days.
It's that time of the year. Will do, Chris. Thank you. Coming up next, Howard is in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. He has a recipe that should keep dinner time from becoming boring.
Well, it's that time of year. The kids have been back to school for a while, and most of us are settling into our fall routines. But just because life is routine doesn't mean dinner should be boring. To keep things fresh, we came up with a new Asian-inspired dish that's fresh and tasty. It's fried rice, and it goes together like this. The first thing we do is cook and cool some long-grain white rice. Cooling this makes our fried rice lighter and less mushy later on. While that cools, we scramble a couple of eggs and set them aside. Now, in the same wok or skillet, we heat some sesame oil and stir fry our cooled rice until it starts to brown. Next, we add some peas and carrots, a bit of garlic, some soy sauce, and a touch of black pepper. Once all the flavors come together, we add in our shrimp and we'll stir fry that until it's cooked through. Add in the cooked eggs and some scallions, and you have a fill-you-up all-in-one dish that's ready in no time and is takeout fancy. And since it's packed with veggies and protein, it's mom approved. To get the recipe for our weeknight shrimp fried rice, just visit our website. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a shrimp-tacular way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
And coming up next at noon, Angie Edge from the Dairy Farmers of Wisconsin are here. Hi, Angie.
Hi.
Oh, the studio smells so good. We're going to celebrate National Pizza Month with a German-style pizza recipe. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Did you know Tim Michaels said people shouldn't be openly gay in public?
But I think when you bring it out of your house and onto the public street, that's where I differ.
Is that the kind of divisive radical you want as your governor?
Fry Construction wants to thank you for once again voting us Best of Madison 3 years running with 27% off gutters or insulation. Your neighbors already know how we strive to meet and exceed expectations with each and every project. That's why they voted us Best of Madison 3 years in a row. Experience the Best of Madison for yourself with Fry Construction. Save 27% off gutters or insulation with any full roof replacement project. Schedule your consultation today at fryconstruction.com.
Clean, safe, fun. I was hoping daytime care for mom would be like that. Oh, Grace's new center is so nice. Now, caring for mom is so much easier.
It's easier to manage my chemo side effects since a Grace Supportive Care came to see me. It was a Grace, but it wasn't hospice.
When you're ready for hospice, you want a Grace. They helped make my dad's last weeks comfortable, calm. It was beautiful.
A Grace, caring every step of the way.
McGann Furniture and Flooring has a question for you. Do you have a hard time sleeping comfortably through the night? Is your mattress 10 years old or even older? Chances are you're due for a new one. Mattress technology has changed a lot in the last 10 years. Our experienced staff will help you find the right style, construction, and firmness that will give you years of sleeping comfort. And remember, we don't raise prices only to lower them later for a sale. With delivery and disposal of your old set, we make it easy to have the bed of your dreams at McGann Furniture and Flooring, downtown Baraboo.
Tim Michaels' company has been sued numerous times for sexual assault and harassment. Women said they were groped and pressured to have sex with their bosses. Those who spoke out were fired. Is that the kind of divisive radical you want as governor?
Welcome back, everyone. Angie Edge from Dairy Farmers of Wisconsin is here now. Hi, Angie. Good to see you. I picked the right day to fill in for Mark.
Exactly, because October is National Pizza Month, and no pizza party is complete without Wisconsin cheese.
Definitely.
So many different variations to choose from, so many different varieties.
And you're making a German pizza today.
Today is German-style pizza. It's called Flammkuchen. I might not be saying that right, but just a different variation, very simple, but it did have some roots in Germany. So the crust actually I made ahead of time. It's simple, actually just a few ingredients. You roll out a ball, there's flour, there's water, and there's olive oil, and you just basically whisk that together and keep kneading it as it comes to a nice dough consistency.
No yeast.
No yeast, nope, and it's very crispy as you cook it. And then on top of that, I use actually a mixture of sour cream and egg yolk, and traditionally in this pizza, you can use a creme frangé if you research this type of pizza.
Okay.
So it does have a great flavor to it. So then you're going to add on some sliced Yukon Gold potatoes. Potatoes, of course, are a must in any German recipe. So
are those raw or cooked?
These are raw.
Okay.
Yep. So we have some potatoes, lots and lots of sautéed onions. That's probably what you're smelling.
Yeah.
So sautéed onions on top of that. And then everybody loves bacon as well. So there is some crispy bacon that we're adding to this recipe. Give it lots of flavor, lots of protein. And of course, you're probably wondering, but last but not least, the Wisconsin cheese. We're using a Wisconsin brick cheese.
Instead of mozzarella.
Instead of mozzarella. So brick cheese is actually the new rage for pizzas. It's very popular in Detroit and lots of different states to use brick cheese. It melts beautifully. You can buy it in different ages. So you can buy a mild brick. You can buy a more strong aged brick. It actually is one of our cheeses that was invented in Wisconsin.
Really?
So invented right here. They got its name because they used bricks to actually press the moisture out of the cheese.
Interesting.
And it's one of our Wisconsin originals. Very, very proud of this one. This one's made by a Wisconsin master cheesemaker in Teresa, Wisconsin. You'll notice it's made by Joe Widmer. I don't know if you can see the package here.
Oh, hang on, just wait. There we go.
And it has that proudly Wisconsin cheese logo along with the master cheesemaker mark. So very proud of the fact that this is a fourth generation. They actually just celebrated their 100th year this year of making cheese. So
congratulations
lots of pride and tradition in our Wisconsin. And then you can top it off with a little fresh rosemary at the end. And you basically bake it in the oven for 18 to 20 minutes till that cheese just starts to melt. You can see the brown cheese and it just starts to ooze over. So
it looks
it's
delicious.
Absolutely delicious.
It couldn't be easier. WisconsinCheese.com for all the recipes.
WisconsinCheese.com.
Thanks, Ange.
Happy Pizza Month.
We'll see you at the Dairy Expo.
Yes.
And let's head over to Chris for a final look at the weather.
Another fantastic afternoon. We're warming up into the 70s for your highs later on, and we will keep those 70s around for tomorrow as well before getting colder later this week.
All right, have a great afternoon, everybody. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you back this afternoon for Live at 4.